Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. You're looking now at this Grunow, which is General Household Utilities Company. It's a model 460, chassis number 4B. It's a broadcast radio only, 4 tubes, and we'll take a look at the tube complement in just a minute. The radio was rated at 115 volts AC input. Again, that's the line voltage, and according to the tag, it consumes 55 watts of power. I think what makes this radio really unique and special, I love the design of the cabinet. It looks like it's curly maple or bird's eye maple veneer, which is really neat. We'll take a closer look at the cabinet as well. It appears to have around a 6-inch speaker, which looks kind of suspect. Before I spin this thing around, I do have one chip here in the front that I'll have to deal with, and I'm hoping I can save this finish. I think it looks really cool the way it is, so I'm hoping I can just kind of clean it up, leave the cabinet as is without doing a strip and a refinish. There is a little bit of bowing. I know it doesn't show up on camera, but my guess is this cabinet at some point in time has been exposed to at least high humidity, if not water, and it's hard to see here. There's a little bit of bowing here on the top as well. Now again, that may just tie back to the cabinet maker and the conditions they were working in, the materials they had to work with at the time. But really cool. I love this design here in the front. I think it's going to make for a really special radio once we get it cleaned up. And again, I'll do my best to salvage the original finish. We'll see what happens. Spinning this around, if you look at the side view, looks like I've just got some paint here. And it may show up on camera here where I'm talking about. This is kind of dipped here in the middle. But again, that really just gives it some character for the time. A few scratch marks here. Again, I may be able to just touch that up with some stain, but again, leave the original finish on. And I'll try to remove this paint. So let's take a look here at the other side. This side's a little more concerning. If you look here, I've got, who knows what this is, some type of glue. I hope it's not through the finish itself. If it is, I may try to use my marking pens and actually just recreate the grain lines and just hand draw them in just to kind of cover this up. So we'll have to take a look, but if I kind of feel across that with my finger, which is a good indicator, it feels like it's got some type of substance on it, glue or some other type, so hopefully it'll just rub right off. But just really a unique and beautiful cabinet. The dial itself is really neat as well. So again, I had already mentioned it's a broadcast radio only, so you got the on-off switch here, the tuning, and then just the volume control here. It's that simple. So let's spin it around here and take a look at the back side. Okay, here's the back of the chassis, and one thing you'll notice real quick, this line cord's had better days. And I'm actually glad that it's been in bad shape and there was no plug on it. And that would be an indicator. I hope this thing has not been powered up in many years and it's just been stored somewhere in a barn or a shed or an attic or something. So that would be my wishes, and hopefully that would be the case, and the power transformer or some of the other internal parts are still in working condition. One thing that did catch my eye when I really looked at this close, and we'll get under some better lighting, this Grunow speaker, which appears to be original. Let me get this tube out. And you can see it just a little bit better. It's upside down. And I started looking, and there's a couple brackets in here made out of wood that hold that speaker to the cabinet. And there's 4 fasteners in total, 2 for each wooden bracket. And there's only 2 screws. And the speakers upside down are inverted. So at least I know that the radio and the chassis speaker has been removed from the cabinet at some point. I just don't know when. We'll remove the fasteners underneath and take a look at it together for the first time and see what that looks like. But again, we've got the tube layout here. We've got the Grunow birth certificate here on the chassis itself. And everything appears to be original. Probably hard to see here under the lighting, but again, you got the Grunow speaker here. And then on this side, it's not in very good shape. It's that living tone decal. It's got Grunow on it. Not sure if that's common or not for the Grunow radios. I did a restoration for my dad a while back, but again, I just did the chassis only. He did the cabinet, so I never even looked in the cabinet after he refinished it and stuffed the chassis back in to see if it had this same type of living tone decal. Anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do just to make this a shorter video. I'm going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws. I'll probably have to put this on the front side and see if I can get this chassis out. So I know I'm going to need 2 hands, if not 3, and remove this, and then we'll pop this thing over and look at the underneath side of the chassis together and see what it looks like. Hey, one look here before I flip this thing down on the face side. I think if you look real close, and I don't want to stick my hand in here, maybe I will just for a minute, but here and here, you'll see those screws that I'm talking about possibly. There we go. You can see the one just underneath. If you look at my thumb on the left side, you'll see those wooden brackets that I'm referring to there that hold the speaker in place. And again, there's just 2 of the 4 fasteners there. And again, you can see by this particular picture, the speaker's definitely upside down, and I can actually see a tear now in the speaker cone also that we'll have to address through the restoration process. Okay, so I mentioned I could have used 3 hands to get this crazy chassis out here. It's just awkward. I probably should have left that tube out. I just held it here by the power transformer. The good thing is the lead wire for the speakers is long enough. I can actually get it flat back down, and it's attached to this piece of plywood. But here's the cabinet. Let me get this chassis off to the side, and we'll take a closer look inside this cabinet real quick. Here's that trademark I was talking about. It says living tone. It's not in very good shape, but again, I'll clean around it and try to save this, make it just keep it original. And I'll try to stuff a camera in there and get some good digital photography if I have to reproduce it. The speaker grill cloth itself, not sure if that's showing up well here. Let me just try to refocus the camera. Zoom out just a little bit. You can see what appears to be water damage, or in my mind it looks like water damage. I don't think it's glue or an adhesive, and I think that kind of ties to what we saw on the front, and plus what I see in the cabinet itself with some bowing on the veneer itself or the substrate. It may just be the substrate itself, but you can see that's very, very generic, and if it does not clean up well, we'll just stick another piece of grill cloth in there. So flipping this around, I'll see if this shows up here on camera. Just kind of zoom in on this as well. Here's the Grunow, and I know we're looking at it from the side point, and I'll do some closer videos later, but it's special to have that information there in the cabinet as well. Just makes it, in my mind, just more special. Again, I'd already mentioned, this side piece. There's a better look at glue or whatever this mess is here that's going to have to be removed. And again, I hope I can get that off of the cabinet itself without having to remove the finish. That would be ideal. And there were 4 fasteners that actually held the chassis to the cabinet, and you can see them here. Let me zoom out. Alright, so I promise I haven't peeped underneath this old chassis. Let's get it back up here on the Lazy Susan and turn it upside down, take a look at the underneath side after we check out the top side just a little bit closer. Okay, let's look real close here again at the top side of the chassis before we pop this thing over and look underneath. But looking at it pretty close, I don't see any rust on the chassis. And I'm excited about that. I tell you, I've done enough restorations as of late with just a lot of rust removal. And if I can get a break from that, that'd be perfect. So it looks like, again, just a lot of dirt and grime. So I was looking at the tube layout here on the back, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the Type 80 rectifier tube. And of course, you got your power transformer here. Whoops, I bumped the camera. Sorry about that, folks. And this is the 42 power output tube. And this particular tube is going to be the 6F7, I believe, and I think that was the IF, as well as the second detector. And then this tube here that's closest to the front of the chassis is the 6A7, which is the first detector and oscillator. So I think I got those right. Anyway, I was looking at some cheat notes here just a little bit ago. And again, you can see the speaker itself, a lot of dirt and junk in beside the field coil itself and the frame. So we'll try to get in there and clean that out. And then I think it shows up here on camera. You can see for sure I've got a crack here in the speaker cone. So we'll just try to do some repair. And again, I'm gonna have to check the the field coil, the output transformer, power transformer, the IFs, the coils, and make sure they're good. But assuming all those parts and pieces are good, then we'll work on the cabinet itself down the road. So let me readjust the position of the camera, and we'll flip this chassis over, and let's check this thing out real close underneath and see if someone's been in there doing a restore or repair at some point in time. Here's an underneath look at the chassis itself. We're looking at it together, first time, and kind of got it propped up here. But one thing that you'll notice, I do have these Mallory electrolytic caps in here, and I'm guessing they're the original for that period of time. If anyone else has done a restore on this, if you would chime in, let me know. I'd love to know if those are the originals or not. I do see a bumblebee cap here, so I can tell it's been replaced. But a lot of the other wax caps and paper caps, and most of them appear to be wax anyway, they look to be original. I'm not sure if this is showing up well on camera or not, but this is a what appears to be a power resistor. And you can tell this power resistor really got hot at some point. Looks like it actually caught on fire. That or it's got some type of, something on it. But looks like it overheated at some point. And the speaker itself, probably not showing up good here on this particular view. But again, it just needs some cleaning. And I'd already mentioned that the speaker cone itself was fractured in one place. So we'll have to remove it from the plywood piece and do some repair on it. Again, first up, I'll be checking the the output transformer field coil, the power transformer. Just make sure those main parts are in good shape, and see if we can get the electrical restoration behind me, and then we'll tackle the cabinet last. I don't want to go put a bunch of time into the cabinet and then realize that electrically I can't get her going. But so far, all the restorations I've done, I've never faced one I couldn't get going. It just takes a lot of time and effort. But there's some additional views here that I'm sharing. So I think I got some work cut out for me. The wiring itself looks to be cloth covered. Some of it is, or most of it appears to be original. So we'll see if we can salvage that wiring as well. So anyway, hey folks, I appreciate you joining. Let me see if I can flip this back around just a little bit. We'll take a little closer look here at the Grunow logo here on the front and that dial. See if I can get the camera refocused here. That may just be a little better under the lighting conditions that I have, but pretty neat little dial there on this little 4-tube set. So that's all I have for now. If time permits, I may start doing some deep cleaning this weekend. See if I can get some of this crud off you know, 60, 70, whatever years of dirt and dust, and you know, start ohming out the power transformer, the other coils, the IF, and the other pieces that I mentioned there on the speaker, and see if they're good, see if I want to continue going forward with the restoration, and if so, I'll post a update on my progress. So hey, thanks again for joining me, and I really appreciate my new subscribers out there as of late as well. Got some great comments on that Chanticleer 2D570 Restore, as well as that last Olympic, and this one should make for some fun also.